Good. I'm
Hi
good.
guys.
Hey, what's
Good
up?
morning, Lee.
Morning.
How's your week been?
I've been good. How about you guys?
Busy.
Yeah, busy. Good. Fall is here. So
Oh, that's beautiful.
I know it's like maybe a couple days past peak foliage, but yeah, it's
Where
awesome to
where
see.
are you located actually?
I'm in Northern Virginia, 45 minutes outside DC, if you
Yeah.
could believe it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. You have a nice spot there. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Where are you, Sheeta? Or
I'm
Shada?
in Colorado. I'm
Oh, that's
close
great.
close to Denver, 25 miles away from Denver. It's a beautiful day here. I was just outside.
uh,
Um,
yeah, there's a path I wish my life sometimes took that led me to Denver because I meet so many people from there, and you fly into Denver and you just look around and it's like it's inspiring. It's cool.
oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. My uncle
Yeah.
doesn't like it. He's
Oh,
like,
really?
he's from New York, and he's like, I like the smoke and hustle and bustle and traffic. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
That's not
No,
me.
I
Yeah, I
Uh,
spent
would much prefer Colorado. I love it out
yeah.
there too.
where are you, Lee?
I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Close,
central New Jersey. It's pretty.
yeah, close to my uncle, but
Mm.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my family's from the Appalachian part of Virginia in southwestern Virginia near Tennessee. And people talk about mountains, the Appalachian Mountains, and then you go west, young man, and you realize what a mountain is. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Um,
Yeah, same. Once you go to the Rockies, you cannot ski in the Poconos at
oh,
all. Not a chance.
I know. I got stationed in San Diego and went up to Mammoth a lot. And yeah, it's just I've got skis in the basement, and every time spring comes, I'm like, man, I should have skied. And then I'm like, you know what? Should I have? Like, I don't know if East Coast skiing really counts. Um, Jess Utula, how's it going? I
Good,
was
good. Good afternoon.
yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. How have you been?
Good. I'm good.
That's good. All right. Shenny, you're here. Love to see it. Best attendance. Shenny, award goes to Shenny. Um, well, great. I know, Shada, last week you had a question about discovery calls, and of course I couldn't find the video. So we can talk about discovery calls. We can talk about anything. So what should we talk about? What do you got? Anyone or everyone?
I personally don't have anything specific on the agenda. I'm sure that I could use anything. And honestly, I haven't done anything about the business part, but at least I joined the program. So that was the first step. I'm hoping to pass the test ASAP, and I'm still trying to figure out what is the best strategy to efficiently study for success, if you know what I mean. Because there's a lot of material, there's a lot of resources. So that's what I'm going to be focusing right now, and then move on to the business part because honestly, I feel like there's just too much to do at once, at least for me, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. I think about like if you think about the metric that we kind of use, it's what does it look like when it's done and done well? And so you can zoom all the way out. It's like, all right, well, I'll have a practice, I'll have a bunch of clients, I'll be making this much money, I'll be able to do it this way, and my life will look like this. Okay, great. You've got yourself a bit of a vision. And then what needs to be true for that vision to be a reality? Well, you need to pass your board exams. You need to become board certified. You need to get the hours. You need to improve your level of knowledge. You need to find clients. It's like the list is infinite of what needs to be true. And then the question of action comes, which is what is the smallest step I can take towards that direction today? And if that step is study, great. If that step is watch a module, in David's curriculum, great. If that step is book a discovery call, great also. It doesn't when you have a list of 1,000 things that need to get done, it doesn't really matter which thing you're doing as long as you're doing something that continuously moves you forward. Um, there's so many examples of this in like sport, let's say, but like Michael Phelps I grew up swimming, and so like Michael Phelps was like that's so cool. And there was a period where like the way most swimming works is you do like 2 a days, and then you'll take Sunday off, or you'll take Saturday afternoon off, and it's like Michael Phelps and his coach were like, we're swimming every day. Christmas, Sunday, like we're just going to swim every day. We're just going to do daily training every single day. We're going to move the ball forward every single day. And then you look at people um, like Jocko Willink. Every day he wakes up and works out and is productive. And then you look at um, the best jujitsu guy in the world is this guy Gordon Ryan. And what do you think he does every day? Every single day he trains. There's this like mindset of like, well, you need rest, you need this, and it's like, yeah, build that into your training. Build that into your routines. It's like you don't want to get burnt out, which just brings us back to like the action is the smallest step, maybe not the smallest step, but maybe the most optimal step, the most impactful step that you can take towards that every single day. And consistency is the key. If you do the work every single day, you're going to look back and be like, holy cow, I built a mansion, you know? And you don't notice it as you're like laying the bricks, but like I've got this invasive species down here. I forget what it's called. It's like Japanese turnweed or something. And I was like, oh, maybe it's medicinal, and it's no, it's just a horrible weed that takes over the whole world. Like the previous owners of this house, the woman was a Chinese ambassador to something or other, so she planted bamboo and all this invasive shit. And I was like getting so frustrated because it just expands. And I've got like ginseng projects. I've got like a bunch of projects in the woods, and I can't have like this Japanese milkweed or whatever it is taking over the world. And I was like, man, maybe I could hire somebody and just have it pull it all up. And then like about 3 weeks ago, I just went out and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just spend 15 minutes a day pulling some weeds. It gets me outside, gets me, moving a little bit. It'll be fun. I listen to a podcast, and like I've decimated patches. I mean, decimated. Like I walk outside and the plants start trembling because they know what's coming for them. And it's like you start working on a big patch, and 2 days later the patch is gone. You know, it's like you make such good progress when you're consistent with your work. So that's my spiel about that. Um, Angela. Hey, welcome. How do you pronounce it? Did I get it right?
And oh, it's Angela.
Angela. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Welcome. Is this your first time on the call?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Perfect. Let's
Yeah.
tell us your life story. No. What are you hoping to accomplish by being here?
Okay, so I have a nutrition company called Flora Nutrition. I'm in the US Virgin Islands. And last year, February, I passed my boards. And so I'm trying to find a place for some hours, and I know that's what your company does, and some support. Life got a little crazy between my husband's health and my health. So I had to put basically my nutrition company on hold. And I, dropped all my clients because we had a major health issue in our family, and I just focused in, but now we're kind of getting stable. I feel like he's stable. I'm going to have surgery here next month, but I feel like, he told me, he's like, you're going to have some time in the hospital. So like, maybe this is a time that you can just spend on yourself with nobody around and really maybe plan your goals or do what you need to do. So I really just wanted to come here, see what this is all about, because I've been reading your emails and loving your emails and following along. And I do want to join the mentorship eventually, hopefully sooner than later, because I do want to get some hours going. Because, as I said, I passed my boards, and then 2 days later, we were in the hospital with him for a month. So it was
Yeah.
a little crazy. Life was a little hectic there for a while, but I feel like it's starting to kind of chill in that sense, and I'm able to focus in and really seeing like what I want to do and trying to take my experience of what I'm going through, what he was going through, and kind of help that with my clients. Like, I think what I'm having a hard time with is just really finding who I am as a holistic practitioner and who my client is, because I'm so interested in everything. Um, and I feel like people that hire me, they want to hire me just for weight loss. And I hate that. Like, that drives me nuts. Like, that's not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to do more of, the holistic stuff. So I'm trying to find really the ideal client and who I am as a coach. So that's where I am.
That's awesome. Well, welcome. I'm glad
Thank you.
I'm glad you're here. Shada, I think I saw you raise your hand. Did you have a question about something that we were talking about before we totally like pivot and change topics?
No, I just send a love symbol
Oh,
to Angela, but
Thank you.
since you were talking about weight loss, it's funny that everybody that I tell them, I'm a holistic nutrition practitioner. Oh, you're a nutritionist. I want to lose weight.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. I'm
this
like,
is this is perfect because like I believe that what people say and what people want and what people need are like all fundamentally different things. Jesse Tula, maybe it was you that raised your hand. What's going on? What's the question?
Yeah, so my question is related to the overweight patient. I
Yeah.
actually have a patient currently that I'm seeing, but she's finding it hard to, or I'm finding it, how would I put the question? Okay, she's not complying. With compliance, I have a big issue with that. And I'm not getting results yet. So, and it's been, say, 5 months now, and she's still not getting the message into it. So I don't know, maybe you speak with that. Just an
Yeah.
additional question to
No, this
to
is
evaluate patient diagnosis.
yeah, this is so perfect because like when I and this isn't like Angela, this isn't like what you said was totally wrong and you're horrible for being here. But like when I hear when I hear when I hear somebody say I'm interested in weight loss, I like I look right over that. It's like, why are you interested in weight loss? What is going on in your life that has put you in a body that you don't want to be in? And I'm not like one of these body positivity, like it's okay to be 400 pounds type people, but I am deeply curious about why you're telling me that you want to be lighter. It's like that's the that's how let's call that the tip of the iceberg. But the work that we do is under the water. It's like all of the things that manifest to your desire to lose weight. Why is that what you want to do? And like it's very easy to brush it off as like, it's basic. Like we do more than that, this and that. But at its core, what do we fundamentally do as coaches, as clinicians, as nutrition people? Like because so I run a gym and I see the same thing. It's like people come in saying that they want to lose some weight. It's like, really, is that what you want? Or do you want to like why do you want to lose the weight? And it's like, well, I want to live longer. Why do you want to live longer? Well, I want to live longer because I got kids and I want to, keep up with them. And like if it's a dad, they want to lose weight because they want to keep up with their kids when they're, in the prime childhood ages. They want to be able to take their family backpacking. They want to play basketball with their kids. They don't want to be like a passive parent. They want to have the energy to be able to keep up with them. And all of that story manifests with a sentence of, I'm here to lose weight. Right? Now, look, I
Yeah.
mean, like, in the weight loss world, there are boring clients that aren't going to be compliant because it's like they're not, they say they want the quick fixes, you know? And like, it's like that's not really what we do. We help you become the person that you need to become to have the life that you want to have. Like we help create the change before the results. So like if you're 400 pounds and you want to be 200 pounds, what needs to happen first? Well, you need to start acting. You need to become the 200-pound person and then start making the decisions that a 200-pound person would make. Start acting like a 200-pound person. You need to become that person, and then you will become that person. And this is so unbelievably important when it comes to compliance. It's so unbelievably important when it comes to weight loss, to anything. And Angela, one of the things that you said is like, you're not sure, you know, what path you want to go. That's that's fine. I go back and forth on this. It's like you need to niche, you need to focus, because if you speak to everybody, you speak to no one. But then a layer deeper than that is, do we really help people with nutrition, or do we help people do the things that they know that they should be doing all along? Right? So like if somebody comes to me and says like, "Oh, you're a nutritionist, I want to lose weight." Like I've got a million questions to ask them, but one question I would definitely ask them is, well, what's one thing that you could do now that if you did do would result in weight loss? I could stop drinking a bottle of wine every night. You know, it's like, I snack constantly throughout the day. I eat what my kid eats and he doesn't eat very good. Why don't you? Okay, so those are all the problems. So what's one thing that you could do to fix that? Well, I could make salads for lunch, or I could do an action. And if you just ask them enough questions, they're going to tell you everything that they need to do. And then that sets you up perfectly for, so why aren't you doing that? Well, and then they're going to give you excuses, and those excuses are the limiting beliefs that are holding them back from becoming the person they need to become. And that's the work that we do fundamentally, axiomatically, you know? And so, Jesse Tula, if you have a client that's not compliant, we're probably just operating on the surface level. And tell me if this is true, like giving them recommendations. They take the recommendations. The recommendations are probably great, and they don't do anything with it because there's something else holding them back from taking action. So here's the framework that I believe to be, I think it's true. Open feedback if anyone here thinks otherwise. I think there's preconditions for health. I think if you meet all of the preconditions, the result is somebody chooses to work out. The result is somebody chooses to eat healthy. The result is somebody chooses to take 10,000 steps throughout the day. Like, what are those preconditions? I think you have to have a clear purpose in your life. Like you need to have a personal purpose. Why? Viktor Frankl wrote Man's Search for Meaning, and it kind of starts off, he's a Auschwitz survivor and psychologist. He was a psychologist going in, and he wrote this book about his experience. And he tells stories, but it's not one of those books that just tells the horrors so that you're horrified. It tells the horrors to put into the context of human behavior. And so after Auschwitz, he would work with his clients, and a question he would ask his clients is like, why not kill yourself? And it's a stop you in the tracks kind of question. It's like, I'm not going to kill myself. Why? Like, what's the point of your life? Fundamentally is the question he's asking. What's your purpose? What's holding you to the ground? So your clients need to know that. You need to know that. We all need to know that. Like, what are you doing it for? Okay. So if you have that in place, if you have a rock solid purpose, it's like I want to be the best mom I can be. Like personally, I want to be the best father I can be. I want to be the best husband I can be. And I want to be the person who can inspire an army of people to have careers that are meaningful to themselves, their families, and their communities. Like that's what wakes me up in the morning. Like that's why I love doing, I can do this call 24 hours a day because it's fulfilling a deep purpose for me. So what's the purpose of your clients? I had a guy come in the gym for a consultation and, you know, considerably overweight, not like morbidly obese, but, probably 300 pounds, let's say, and not the best diet and lifestyle, not really an active person, has a few kids, turning 40 soon. So what brings you in today? And he's like, well, I'm turning 40 soon. I've got a few kids and my dad died when he was 43. And I don't want to do that. I want to go a different path, but I feel like I'm on that path. Okay, great. I know his why. And so now if he starts becoming non-compliant, let's say, with maybe he trails off on physical activity, maybe he's, doing things that we agreed maybe he shouldn't do, he's not taking action like we want him to take. I can bring it back to, how much longer are you going to continue down the path of your dad? When do you want to turn this ship around? Like every day you're making decisions to not be around for your kids. Is that your intent? Do you think with those questions his compliance is going to go up or go down? Like he might rage quit and think I'm an asshole, but at least I'm asking him questions that he can't forget, helping him understand that his actions are out of alignment with who he aspires to be. He's fundamentally living a lie. He's like a little mini Raskolnikov. It's like he's disconnected. And our job is to help people become connected, help people have their actions express their purpose. And if your actions express your purpose, then you're compliant, right? So if we have non-compliant people, we need to fully understand what their purpose is. Okay, let's say their purpose is rock solid. I'm going to keep going back to this client with the dad because
What if it's not rock solid?
Say that again, Just Utula.
What if the purpose is not rock solid? Because I think what she told me then was just that she noticed she added weight. And it's not like she really eats so much and all that, those just lifestyle ups and downs.
Yeah.
And
So
yet she don't want to put in the work because she's very busy actually.
yeah. So if the purpose isn't rock solid, there's an opportunity to explore the purpose. Okay. So like your nutrition sessions aren't nutrition until you get a foundation for nutrition.
Yeah.
And so, I know we want to talk about the GI map or the tests or your insulin or recommendations, but all of that is meaningless until we figure out truly what you're doing this for. Like oftentimes on these calls, we don't really talk about the business of nutrition. We talk about the mindset of the entrepreneur.
Yes.
Why do we do that? You know, Suzanne, I think that's her name. She's the ultra marathon runner who was on the call. I think she has a race coming up soon. But she's like, I never do any, I don't have time to do these things. Like, well, you do have the time to do these things. You're just choosing to spend the time training for an ultra marathon, which is great. But just understand that that's a choice. So like, what do you want? And sorry, Suzanne, if I'm like, I'm not trying to be mean or, it's just like, if she's listening to the recording at some point in the future, you know what I'm saying? It's like we're, you can't continue with a broken system. Like you have to fix the foundation before you build your house. You have to lay the foundation before you build the house. And what I'm proposing here is that the foundation is purpose. And then if the purpose is defined, maybe not rock solid, but let's say it's defined. The layer above purpose is relationships, time, and money. And if any of those are out of harmony, if any of those are outside of, when I say outside of truth, it's not like I mean it in like the broadest sense possible. Like if your actions speak louder than words, why is that a cliche? It's a cliche because it's true. Like you can say whatever the hell you want to say, but it's what you do that is what you believe. You act out your beliefs on the world, right? So I don't care what you say, I observe what you do because what you do is what you believe, period.
Mhm.
Right? Like, oh, I'm a Christian. And then you go around being an asshole to everybody. It's like, really? Are you? Like, not everyone that says, Lord, Lord will, meet me in heaven. It's like, if you truly believe, that will change your actions because it's your actions that matter. Okay. Little tangent there, but it's important. And so you understand purpose. And then maybe you come up with an action. All right, let's stop eating donuts. Let's focus on these macros. And then they're not going to do them. And why they're not going to do them is because of some excuse. All right, they're going to give you an excuse. It's like, I don't have time. I'm busy. I don't have the money to afford the right food. I can't. Limiting beliefs or chaos, one or the other. With time and money, typically it's limiting beliefs, and with relationships, it's typically chaos. Are you going to focus on your health if every time you come home, it's a war zone? Like you don't have a good relationship with your kids. You and your partner are, constantly battling. Like, are you going to reach for the comfort food if that's true? Or are you going to reach for the more challenging salad or whatever? You know? And so if I'm working towards an action with you and the action is eat more spinach, I don't know, whatever, track your macros, eat the protein. It doesn't matter what the action is. Take 10,000 steps. Hey, how'd the 10,000 steps go? Oh, I didn't get to it. Now the work begins. Why didn't you get to it? I just don't have the time. Why don't you have the time? Well, I'm just so busy. Why are you choosing those things over your health? Well, I have to get it done because I need to make money. Oh, so it's money. It's like we've all heard these. And so it's your job to help clean up and create order at the second layer. So you create clarity on purpose, you help your best to create order or clarity on relationships, on their time, with their money. And when all of that is in place, they're probably going to take action towards their health. Like, imagine this. Imagine you have a client who is rock solid on their purpose. They know exactly why they're doing this. They're passionate about their life. They're waking up every day in service of others, whatever it is that they want to do. They come home, their kids are great relationship with their partner, happy family life. They've got an abundance of time because they intentionally choose to focus on the things that they want to do, that they get to do, not really the things that they have to do. And that has afforded them a sense of financial security. So they're not really terribly concerned about money, or money doesn't necessarily control their every thought and action. Is that, are the preconditions for that client more likely to, is that client more likely to take action towards their health? Like, I would argue, yeah, I would argue that would be one of the easiest clients in the world to work with, you know? Like, hey, what should I do? Like that's when it gets fun. That's when we get to do what we want to do. That's when we get to do the GI map and do the exploring. And it's like, because you've got a hyper compliant client at that point, because there's no excuses in their life for inaction. It's like you're talking to that client and they've got some GI distress. And you're like, I really think we should do a GI map. I think it'll give us some good information. $270. Oh yeah, let's do it. That'll be great. Like, because they don't have an excuse for money. It's like, hey, I really need you to take an hour every morning and adopt a morning routine and really work on your stress because you're working really hard, but it's like your cortisol and insulin, they have an abundance of time. They choose where their time goes. So they'll be able to enact that. And so I believe that our job fundamentally is to meet people who are struggling with something. Like they're here and their life is here and they want to bring those two together, or they're here and they want their life to be here and we need to help them get there. How do we do that? We fully explore their purpose. We challenge them with lifestyle, diet, mindset interventions, and then we observe if they're compliant, and if they're not compliant, we investigate why. And the reason why they're not compliant, I'm convinced of this, is almost always going to be distilled down to relationship chaos, time chaos, or financial chaos. I'm not a financial advisor. Good. You know, you have a more important job. You know, maybe it's somebody's mindset with money. I'm not a relationship coach. Good. Because most people just need to, again, like if it's the relationship, most people know what they need to do. They're just not doing it. So you can investigate why they're not doing it. You know, it's like I was talking to my mentor and I was like, yeah, you know, like it's really stressful with my wife and my son and the business and, you know, all these things. And like I'm not being a good dad. I'm not being a good husband. I'm not, you know, being good in the service of my clients and my mission. Like I'm just totally unfocused on my purpose. And I've got like a 2.5-year-old as like I kind of, at the time I was like the primary caretaker during the day. And I would like, because my job's much more flexible, so I can like push things a week, maybe push things a month, but like after a couple months, it like gets it gets pretty chaotic, you know? And I'm like trying to balance all of this. And it was like I was doing horrible at everything. And it was so obvious to anybody looking at my life critically that I need help with childcare, you know? And he told me that. He was like, look, how much longer are you going to be shitty at everything that you do? How much longer do you want to continue being a bad dad? Ooh, oh, you know, like that one sucked, but it was true. Found an awesome preschool. And so then I was like, well, I can't afford a preschool. And he's like, you can't not afford a preschool. What the hell are you talking about? So it was like money limitations in my mindset. It was, well, you know, like I really believe I want to be in, like, I thought that being a good dad was like not putting my kid in preschool. And like, I'm like, he was like, what are kids his age doing? You know, like, what are they doing? I was like, you know, he helped me realize that like, I'm not doing the things that are helping him develop. I'm not potty training him. I'm not having arts and craft time. I'm not putting him in touch with many other kids. It's like, I'm just selfishly holding him, you know, next to me while I'm half distracted on client calls. It's like, that's not helpful. Right. And he helped me realize all of that. Found a preschool. He's got like friends and ideas and thoughts that I didn't give him, which blows my mind. You know, it's like there's a real human in there. And yeah. And you know what happened? Uh Everything got better. Shocker. And you know what I started doing when everything got better? I started working out. I started drinking a lot less. I was much more compliant because everything was in order. You know? Is that at all helpful to any of this? Sorry for the rant. I tend to just go on rants and don't ask for feedback, but yeah, Shada.
Yeah, I mean, that was wonderful. And I think for me, at least personally, I can relate that to, you know, my career, my own, you know, the order, the layers. One thing I want to ask you and see what do you think is that a lot of time is not because they're making excuse or they're just lazy, or I'll just say myself, like if I haven't had a good sleep, or you know, my cortisol is high, or I'm aching, I feel sick, I don't feel like going out, getting in the sun, do my walk. So a lot of time imbalances in your health also are a roadblock of the steps that you want to take. What are your thoughts on that?
I totally agree. Yeah, like every framework, every rule exists to be broken in a way. You know, it's like this isn't the theory of personal development. Yeah, like let's say that I'm working with a client and they're like, "Oh, my sleep is terrible." And we start taking steps to their sleep and they're compliant with all the steps. You know, it's like, "All right, my sleep is terrible. Well, what do you do the hour before you sleep?" And it's like, on my phone, you know, doing all this stuff. And it's like, "All right, well, let's cut that out and see if that improves your sleep." Well, if they cut it out and their sleep improves, then great. They're taking action. That's exactly what we want to do. We're in the clinical work because they're taking action. But you know, it's like I've got a busy job and I'm always on my phone and I need to check my email. Okay, it's not your sleep. You know what I'm saying? It's like if your clients are compliant, then you're at the top of the pyramid. You don't need to do downstream work because your clients are compliant. So if you have a non-compliant, I guess what I'm suggesting is if you have like all the conversations are about what steps can we take in nutrition to help you get, you know, to get to where you want to go. Here's a nutritional intervention that I think will help you. Observe if that gets done. If it doesn't get done, why? Oh, it did like, oh, you know, we talked about 10,000 steps. I tried it, but then, you know, my knee hurts. And so I can't really do it. Okay, well, let's try something else that you can do. You know, let's change it. Because that's a reasonable excuse. It's like, all right, we thought steps were going to work, but like your body isn't quite ready for those steps. So let's reduce, you know, and it's like that's the clinic, like ride a bike or, you know, do some yoga. Like it doesn't really matter what you do. Like the intervention is something. And so maybe the intervention isn't right, but there's a similar intervention that could fit. It all comes down to whether or not they're compliant. Are they doing what you want them to do? You know, like it, yeah, Shinny.
Sorry, it was another topic, so I don't want to switch if
Hmm.
we're not ready. I just
No, no,
want
no.
to raise my
I can,
hand. I don't forget.
yeah, I could ramble on this topic all day, but I
So I
think
agree with everything you're saying because I had a client that actually, walking sometimes wasn't really feasible. So I gave her some ideas for like other exercises she can do and right in her house. So it's like, there's really no excuse. You're in your house. You can do these few things, and it was just a means of like getting her started on like some sort of fitness protocol.
and then you observe if those pivots, if you're constantly getting excuses for every idea, then it's an indication that there's something underneath that that's holding them back from taking care of themselves.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because I think that was also one of my struggles with this one client. It's like, sometimes I just felt like she didn't really want to do it, and I was like, is it me? But it was really just her holding herself back for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
question, sorry,
No,
my
no, yeah.
question, I had two. One was just I one time I think during the mentorship there were some suggestions or recommendations for insurance companies to use, and I don't know if you
Oh,
have
yeah.
any.
I have no idea.
Okay,
I know that we have those recommendations.
okay, perfect.
I will get those to you. Yeah, I know for a fact David's got a whole list of them. I don't know if anyone on this call has an insurance
I
that they
use
like. Feel
one.
free to share.
I can tell you what it is because I just got my annual bill for next year. Look at here it is. Okay. CPH and Associates. What's the real name? Hold on. It's been fine. I've had it for a few years, and I mean,
Okay.
I haven't had to test this company, so I can't tell you, how they come through if there's an issue. But I can email. I'll look up their website and put it in the chat for
Okay,
everyone.
thank you.
I mean, there's a lot, so I really don't know how it compares, but I heard about it through the NANP, and I've been using them for a few years. So
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
sure.
And then
Yeah.
I use HPSO. I don't know, it's like health, HP, health professional, something organization, HPSO, and they're really inexpensive. I think my policy is like under $200 a year, and they actually cover me in the Virgin Islands, which is something that I have a hard time, getting insurance. But you can get them as nutrition coaches, as, personal trainers, anything like that. So it all depends on like what you're looking for and whatnot. So that my personal trainer uses them. So that's how I decided to use them as well.
Thank you.
And Shani, I just emailed David, so I've
Okay.
CC'd you on it. So hopefully he can. His wife is expecting a baby any day now. So
God, I didn't realize that.
yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's their third.
Oh.
So
That's
hopefully he gets back to you quickly.
Yeah, no worries. And I also was curious because I know at one time I believe you guys did a functional lab training, maybe even the beginning of this year with Dr. Coetzee. Is that right?
Yeah.
Do you have
So
any plans to do that again? Because I didn't get in on that training.
yeah, totally. We've got big plans in the work on this front. So one of the things that we learned from the last time is the idea was to teach every functional training test in, I think we did 3 months, and it got unbelievably overwhelming for virtually everybody. And so what we've done is we've split the tests up into 6 week uh, hyper focused, like we're going to do the GI map, we're going to do genomics, we're going to do metabolomics, blood chemistry. We're going to just systematically work through all of them in 6 week intensives. And we should be doing that, I think, at the beginning of the year. But yeah, that's definitely in the works.
All right, that's great. Thank you. I'd love to try to jump in on that this time.
Yeah, for sure. For
Okay,
sure.
thanks.
Shada, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add about the insurance. I looked into it a while ago. I've had alternative balance for my coaching business, but I'm not using them right now. What I found out is that they have the highest coverage, but also the most expensive one. So that's just one takeaway. And then HP SCO, whatever, I've had them in the past again for my coaching business. And what I tried this time was I said, this is for my business, so it's actually a business. And then they wanted me to set up a profile and somebody will review it. And they were giving me like $600, something like that. And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And then I called the CPH, whatever it's called, from the NAMP, and they were very reasonable, around 200, something like that. And then I said, how long does it take, to get established? They're like right away. So if you apply, you can get signed up. There's no like, oh, we're gonna review your business or whatever. At least that was my experience. I don't know if anybody has any other feedback. And since I'm talking now, I want to get your Sean's opinion. You mentioned entrepreneur mindset, and I'm totally on board with that. So I have been working on, instead of saying, "Oh, I'm not no good at social media," I've been trying to, uh, just learn, basically. Like you said, if you're not good at something, you learn, because this is what you need to do to become an entrepreneur. But what I'm finding is that it's taking me a long time. It's almost a week. I'm trying to put a post. It's actually a reel. First of all, I had to educate myself between a story, a reel, a post, and so I got on, YouTube, and then I'm trying to put a reel with certain specification, like I don't want to get on the camera, but I want to record my voice. I want to show the word. So there are certain criteria that I'm trying to put into it. And I'm like, this is taking me so long. um, what my dilemma in this process is that there is probably there has to be a balance between what I'm really good at, which is like researching, reading, writing, um, digging to the material and the science, and taking the actions that I need to take to become an entrepreneur. And I'm not sure if this is, I guess, the right mindset. Sometimes I say, oh, forget about, doing this, find a job that it's more towards what I'm already good at. And, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I want to have my own freedom, whatever the benefit that comes with being an entrepreneur.
Totally.
So do you have any comment or guideline or
I
whatever?
I have hours of comments. You stepped on like 5 landmines during that conversation. Why don't you want to be on camera?
I don't know. I don't feel like I look good
Why don't you feel like you look good?
because I don't. I don't know.
No, you're beautiful. Why don't you feel like you deserve to be on camera?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Um,
Well, let me
it's a
ask,
mindset. Yeah,
yeah, let me ask it
it's
a
a
different
blocky
way.
mindset.
What are you afraid of happening if you're on camera?
Mm. Um, eh, yeah,
Judgment?
yeah, exactly.
Being exposed as a fraud?
Not a fraud, but um, I don't know, old.
Okay. Uh, being seen as old, afraid of judgment, afraid of failure? Are you afraid of like you put yourself out there, you try really hard, and then people who know you and who see you, they're gonna be like, "Huh, who's that? Who's that silly person on Instagram?" Is that a fear?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Uh, there's two things that might sound like they're not. It's going to sound like this is total opposite advice, but I promise there's like harmony here if I can stumble my way through it. So, um, the apex pursuit of an entrepreneur is to only do the things that only you can do. It's like the the your business, the way that your business is going to grow is by you solely myopically focusing on your unique skill sets that only you can do. Okay, so like an obvious example is if I'm running a gym and I'm doing the admin email and I'm working with the clients and I'm cleaning the gym afterwards and it's like I'm doing everything. All right. Um, what are out of all the tasks that I do on a daily basis, what are the things that I am uniquely qualified to do? That I'm the only person in the world that can do this? Well, probably interact with the clients, at least initially. And so I need to do only client facing work. So I need to find somebody who can clean the gym for me. Who do I find to clean the gym? Well, somebody who's uniquely qualified to clean the gym, somebody whose life would be better if they were able to clean my gym. You know what? There's janitorial companies all the time that are desperate for clients. So let me find one of them, let me help them out, and they'll help me out. That's amazing. So now I got a clean gym. That's great. Man, I hate answering emails every single day. Uh, I'm like, so in the Myers-Briggs, I'm ENFP, and like the result of ENFP is you will hate answering emails every day. Like that's like what it says, And so I went out searching for an ISTJ. I I was in the gym every day being like, "Hey, do you know your Myers-Briggs? Hey, do you know your Myers-Briggs?" And I would ignore everybody, but once I heard ISTJ, I was like, "What do you do?" You know? Are you happy with your financial status? Like, would you like some more money? Because I know you're the type of person who would love to answer emails. That was 12 years ago. Kara still works for me. She lives in Pittsburgh. She does all of the admin for all of the gyms. swim school, she does everything. It's amazing. She's a robot. She's thrilled with the job. I do not understand Kara. So boom, that's off my plate. And so the the way to think about this, there's a framework for action. And the framework for action is frustrations and procrastinations. You figure out, and this is what ties it together. So why does it take you so long to make a video for Instagram? Maybe it's a frustration, maybe it's a procrastination. We'll explore that together. Um, if you're frustrated by something, it means the thing that you need to do is like almost certainly out of alignment with what you're really good at. It's like I'm frustrated by these emails every single day. They're annoying, they're frustrating. It's like imagine all the things that you have to do and compare them to all of the things that you get to do. I get to talk to you guys. I love it. I have to upload the recording of this to somewhere where you guys can see it. See the difference there? Like, I have to do that. I hate doing that, which is why it doesn't happen all of the time, you know? But I love being on these calls. I look forward to them every week. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to talk to this group. I'm pumped. You know, I get to do this. If like, if I woke up tomorrow and I wasn't allowed to do this, I would be sad. If I woke up tomorrow and I never had to check my email again, I would be thrilled. You know what I'm saying? And so as the entrepreneur, you control everything in your life. If your life is not great, it is your fault. You know? And so every frustration that's happening in your day is an opportunity for you to fix it. It's an opportunity for you to figure out what needs to be true for that frustration to be eliminated. Okay? And so if a frustration is it takes a week to do social media, there's an opportunity for it not to take a week. And what's that opportunity? Well, there's an opportunity to face the fears that you have head on and become the person who isn't afraid of putting their face on social media. And that pursuit will make you grow more into the person that is the entrepreneur. Now, what you might realize is I just categorically and fundamentally hate posting on social media, and it's something that I just despise doing, and it's not in alignment with my values, and it's not really what I want to do. Okay, great. Build a business that doesn't depend on social media. That's fine, you know? But the problem we're at now is we've exposed a fear. We have found a dragon. And we cannot run away from dragons. We must slay them because behind the dragon is the gold, you know? And so now you found something about yourself. That's incredible. You've gone out into the wilderness and you've exposed a weakness. If we aim to improve this weakness and turn it into a strength, how will that affect all aspects of not only your business, but your life? And that's the entrepreneurial journey. The entrepreneurial journey is exposing yourself completely to the business and it mirroring back all of your insecurities, all of your failings, all of your sins, all like it's a mirror of every hole that you have in your body. And so, what do? You get to work on patching those holes. You turn your weaknesses into strengths, and it's going to affect your business. It's going to affect your relationships. It's going to affect your life in a positive direction. Where else in your life might you be showing up afraid? Afraid to be vulnerable, afraid for judgment, afraid to be seen as old, afraid to not be seen as the beautiful person that you are. Where else in your life are those insecurities affecting you? How, like bringing this all together, how are they affecting your relationships? How are they affecting, your purpose? Probably not insignificantly. This leads me to the recommendation of like, now you got to do social media. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to do it to overcome the fears. And so let's reframe your mindset. Your mindset is fear, fear of judgment, fear of being seen as old, fear of failure, let's say. But judgment seemed to strike the best. If your social media content could help somebody, then it's worth it, right? Like let's say, like if you have a client, fundamentally, what do you do with the client? You change their life, right? They're stuck here, you help them here. If you do a really good job at that, they're a different person. You have helped them become the person they want to become. You have created the initial ripple in the pond of their life. And that ripple is going to affect their family. That ripple is going to affect their community. It's going to make an impact on the world. I truly believe that. If you have a client, you will change the world. I truly believe that. You're not posting on social media because you're afraid of being judged. But you could post on social media because you want to change the world. And if your aim is to change the world, who cares who judges you? You know? It's like, I'm out here trying to change the world and you're on the bench judging me? Grow up, get a life, find some purpose. That's the entrepreneurial mindset. Find an insecurity and attack it. And attack it because the insecurity is just, it's just a frame. It's just how you think about yourself. It's not true. Like, raise your hand if you see Shada as old and worthless. You know, it's like nobody looks at you like that. Only you have the courage to be that mean to yourself. And ditto me. You know, this isn't just you. Like I have literally been in your shoes. Like, I started a gym. I was making dramatic impact on the clients that came into my gym, and I was unbelievably insecure about making social media content. Why? I was terrified of being judged. I was terrified. Like, the other lie I told myself is, there's like everything I learned about fitness, I learned from the internet. So why wouldn't my clients just go on the internet and learn it? I did. So imposter syndrome to the max, terrified of judgment to the max. And I'm sitting at this mastermind group. I had like almost nothing left in the bank. And I was like, if I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail swinging, you know, like I would be a terrible baseball player because I'm not letting you strike me out by not swinging. If I'm going to strike out, I'm going down, like literally I'm going down swinging. You know what I'm saying? There was this CrossFit gym business mastermind group. It was $30,000. That was about all I had. And I went, and they put you in the middle of this circle. There's like 20 people, you know, all gym owners of various levels of success. And they're like, what's your biggest opportunity? And I was like, I feel like I'm really charismatic in the gym and I can't translate that to online. And then they said everything I just said to you, like, you know, from their mouth to my mouth. That sounds weird. There's the right, you know, from their hand, whatever it is, right? Whatever the saying goes. Like, and the reframing there was, you believe that you're totally capable of helping someone when they come into your gym. Why can't you help them a day before they get into your gym? You're qualified the moment they walk in. Why are you unqualified the moment, like the moment right before they walk in? Well, what about a month before they walk in? Well, what about a year before they walk in? That's social media. Social media is helping the clients before they become your clients. You know? And what about the imposter syndrome? Well, I learned everything on the internet. Well, yeah, like I got attached to this guy, Kelly Starrett, doctorate of physical therapy, who was like right time, right place. I consumed everything that he made. But like the clients that are coming into my gym, if I showed them a Kelly Starrett video, they'd be like, I don't know, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't speak to me because I speak to them. You know, like my little sister's a phenomenal swim coach. If you've got a toddler, you want her to be that toddler's swim coach. Guarantee it. She's the best in the world. She would be the worst high school swim coach on the planet. You know? So there's the right coach for the right time and the right person. Like it's all got to match. And if you're here, if you have a vision, it's your and that vision is noble and good and true, it's your moral duty to pursue it. And so, you know, it's immoral for you not to post on social media every day. That's how we get there. That's the mindset shift, right?
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, um, it's, I've heard this phrase before, but this was a great emphasize and rewording it. And I just have to remind myself, it's not about me. It's about the impact that I'm making, going back to, again, to the purpose of what we do every day. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, and think about it, like your you need to become the person who isn't terrified of social media. And when you become that person, you can choose whether or not you want to post because the dragon has been slayed. Angela, what's happening? What are your thoughts? She's like, I'm never coming back. This is
No, I just wanted to comment and just say that I kind of feel you. I feel what you're going through with social media because I'm a perfectionist and it's been holding me back a lot. And one of the things I just wanted to tell you, Shada, is I don't know if you've ever heard of the online company called Elance, but you can go on there and you can hire people for any price that you want to pay because there's freelance people all over the world in Pakistan and Thailand, and the dollar is worth more in certain countries. And so I found that like I had to do something for my business in the sense of I had to renew my LLC or license or something, and they wanted all this accounting information, and I knew I didn't want to go spend $500 at our local accountant to do this. And I went on Elance and spent $20, and they created a beautiful thing for me. And so the only reason why I share that is because there could be people on there that could help you, and maybe for not that much money or however your budget is, that maybe could help you or be an assistant in that sense. If you say it takes you a week to create a post, maybe you can say, I'll pay you X amount of dollars to create X amount of posts per week. And then you at least have that, maybe the confidence boost that can give you. And then that'll give you time maybe to learn and then to change hands. So that's just what I wanted to say.
Oh, thank you so much. That was very helpful. Elan, L-A-N.
Elance. I'll put it in the chat. It's called Elance.
All right. Thank you, Angela.
Yeah.
yeah. And like my experience with because like okay, so like this perfectly feeds into the entrepreneurial journey, let's say, where it's like your job is to focus on only what, like, you can think of it as like your job is to focus on only the things that you're uniquely gifted at and then outsource everything else. Like not exactly like that, but let's say that that's the case. Angela, perfect. I hate accounting. I hate numbers. That would take me 3 weeks, or I could pay somebody who it takes 10 minutes and it's done. Great. Love it. Do that. Shada, like imagine somebody who has a very thriving Instagram practice and it's just they're getting burnt out with like they know what works, they're just getting burnt out having to create it over and over and over again. That's a perfect person, that's the perfect scenario to outsource at that point, because it's like you know what needs to be done because you've been doing it and you figured it all out, and hire somebody to do that. Great. if you were to outsource your social media where you are right now, because you don't have a clearly defined voice yet, maybe the freelancer will help you find the voice, but almost certainly it'll just sort of like be watered down into kind of like a little platitudinal, a little directionless, a little less impactful, you know? And so if you outsource something, like you can't outsource your business. Does that make sense? And so part of the exercise of doing the posts is to figure out what your business is. It's like to find your voice. It's to figure out what it is that you have to say. Like, like imagine building a business is like writing a book. You've got an idea, like, Moby Dick, terrible captain, revenge against the world, giant whale, adventure story. It's like, I can't hire a freelance to write the book. Like, I've got to write the book, you know? Like, it's your business is that idea. It's like you've got this divine inspiration and you need to suss out exactly what it is so that you can impart it into the world. And once you get super clear on what it is that you're trying to say and what it is that you're trying to do, then that's when freelancing is like fuel to the fire. Like, imagine running Facebook ads to a business that does nothing with the leads that it gets. It's like you're just wasting your money, you know? Now, like all of this is like a dichotomy. It's not to like, Angela, terrible idea. No, it's a phenomenal idea. Like it's an absolutely great idea. Look into it for sure, but make sure that you're addressing the fundamental point. And I would suggest the fundamental point is the fear that you have with showing your face on social media. And you shouldn't be afraid of that.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's
Appreciate it.
it's it is it's incredible. Like when I'll like go on anybody's Instagram and just look at the views that they get on word posts versus face posts. Like people love vulnerability, authenticity, and Angela, they love imperfection. They love it. You know, like perfection is being a perfectionist is probably hiding fear of failure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's like, I won't ever start this painting because I want the painting to be perfect.
Mhm. Yeah.
Or I've got to make the perfect iPhone. And so I'm never going to make the iPhone 1 because it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the way you make something perfect is by doing it, seeing where it broke, and then fixing it. Like, like look at the Raptor engine on SpaceX. There's like, I got to find this picture because I don't know if you guys follow SpaceX as closely as I follow SpaceX. Uh, Raptor engine progression. Oh, this is so perfect. All right, yeah. All right. Okay. So this is what sends the this is like Elon SpaceX. This is what sends the rockets up. Okay. This is the engine. This is the first iteration. This is the second iteration. This is the third iteration. So let's say Raptor 3 is perfect. The only way you build Raptor 3 is by building Raptor 1. You can't just build Raptor 3. It's impossible. And so if you're a perfectionist, which I believe you are, you're morally obligated to make something imperfect so that you can improve it. You know? Like that's the only way. That's the only path.
Yeah.
Danielle, welcome to the show. Glad you're here. This one feels a little more intense than other ones. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to come across like my wife will be like listening and she's like, so all you do is yell at people for an hour? Like that's these calls and they show up voluntarily. It's not yelling. Mostly they're smiling, you know?
Yeah, appreciate it, Sean. We do.
Yeah, Danielle, what's up?
Couple of questions and a comments. First of all, you just reminded me of that. It's not really a quote, but it's a fact. Thomas Edison created the light bulb, or went through like, I don't know, almost 3,000 versions, like 2,700 or something of the light bulb before he found And like we still use them today. I mean, I know there's LED and stuff now, but that concept is still there. Um,
Yeah, and his quote was something like,
mm,
I didn't fail 2,700 times. I found 2,700 ways that it didn't work.
yeah,
Something like that. It probably said it better than that. But anyway,
something. No, that's cool. I like that. And I'm right there with you guys on the social media front. I haven't posted anything since, I don't know, May. But the two things that I did post about that do the best is one, like a recipe that I just randomly threw together out of whatever I had in my freezer because I hadn't gone to the grocery store yet. And then the one about like my personal story. And I haven't put my face on social media either, but I'm even like today, people will still somehow come across it. I don't know. It's probably like a friend of my sister or somebody, but I just think if that can happen after all this time, what's stopping me from continuing to write things? And I in the past, other than that one recipe, I pretty much would write an article, post it to my website, and then create a social media post about it using AI to help me figure out what it should look like. But um, to Angela's idea, I've thought about that too. Like, I just need somebody who can take my social media, but I don't know if that's really what I want, more so than like a social media coach who will teach me and help me script things and teach me all of the ways of this is when you should post this, or this is the type of scripting. I don't want to be so rigid about it, but I also, like Shada, had to educate myself on what's a story, what's a reel. I'm still not sure I could explain it to anybody. I think I could be in a conversation about it now and know what they're talking about, but I don't think I could explain it. And then Angela, I clicked on that link. Is Elance Upwork? Because when I clicked on it, it went straight to Upwork. Or maybe they
Maybe they got bought out since I
merged or
used them last. Yeah, I'm not sure. Elance.
yeah, I mean it's the same business concept. So yeah, probably
Yeah,
Upwork
they
bought
must
it
have
out.
gotten bought out. But yeah,
okay.
as you said, same business concept. So, and there's also something called Fiverr as
Yeah.
well. Like that's similar as well. And they can help you with everything on there too.
Yeah,
And you've
Fiverr.
had success like hiring, sorry, Sean,
Oh, no, no, no.
hiring people for through Elance, or I guess now Upwork, like you just, how
So
do
yeah,
you know that it's a legitimate person on the other side?
I read reviews. I am a reviewer of everything. Like, same with if you were to book an Airbnb, I wouldn't go with one that didn't have a review. I would go with one that had like 400 reviews, and then you can see your budget. Um, and I have a friend that built a very, very successful business using like Fiverr and all of those websites and AI and things like that. And they were the ones that actually told me about those. So you just have to vet them and I think they have money back guarantees as well, so but I mean I only use them for that one thing, but I have friends that have used these type of companies for many aspects from website design to doing logos to um accounting to having assistants and everything. And obviously, as you said, Sean, you have to be in a certain point in your business and your vision to really use some of these. But maybe once you figure that out, then that could be helpful.
Yeah, I
Maybe
use I
they, yeah.
use I use Fiverr. It's Shada, it's Fiverr, Fiverr.com. Yeah. I use Fiverr all the time. I used Fiverr in grad school. We had to make handouts. I'm terrible at making handouts, so I would like pay somebody to make it look pretty. Like,
Yeah.
you know, outsource grad school. I use it for website stuff. I use it for like if you want to get like good design, then I use Fiverr. The premise of Fiverr is like pay me $5 and I'll do a service for you. Like that's the premise. But everyone's got, it's like this is the $5 thing, but this is the $5,000 thing. And so I found that if you go low end design work, you get very horrible design. And so like I found like our website, I found somebody on Fiverr and sorted by price and had the most expensive at the top and then scrolled down like a little bit to find somebody that was like more expensive, maybe not the most expensive, good reviews. And I got a good product.
Yeah. And also to Canva, Danielle, I know you said you want to just make a brochure. I use Canva for everything, for social media, for creating things like that, brochures and flyers and all that kind of things too. And you have templates and you can just plug and chug.
Yeah,
know.
thank you for the, okay, so you saying this, part of my issue is that I forget that I do things. I use Canva and I didn't remember that I even already created a brochure in Canva until you just said that word. Even though I was on there yesterday for a different project.
Yeah.
I think I've kind of rebranded, so I'm gonna have to go back and check, I might have to, I don't think I have to start over, but I have to change some wording. But
Yeah.
yeah, thank you for that reminder.
You're welcome. Canva's great too. You can even create your own branding, colors, everything in there. And then they create things all put, I love Canva. I pay for Canva Plus and I don't use it quite as often as I need to, but it's there. It's a business expense. So
And Shenny, I haven't heard of the website guys, but I just Googled them. Is it the free website guys? Because that's the website I found.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, looks good.
Looks like you just have to pay for, what do you call it? The web hosting, which is what you need to run a website anyway, and they use Ionos. I don't know. I have to explore it a little further, but I was just curious if anyone had heard of that.
Yeah, no, I hadn't, but it looks good. Looks like it could work.
Okay, I'll let you know then if I use it.
Yeah. Um, Danielle, you talked about social media coach, let's say. I think that's what she said. Like, I don't need anyway. My I had thoughts that came to mind when you said that in there. Like let's call this a template for how to create social media content. Frustration, solution, outcome. You know, like, or reverse it. Do you want an outcome? Are you frustrated by this? Here's the solution. Um, do you have like it works for basically anything. And it could be as broad or as narrow as the frustration. Are you uh, overweight and tired of disappointing yourself because you never take action? Well, what if I told you that it really doesn't have anything to do with your discipline, that you're extraordinarily disciplined to the habits that you currently have? What I help people do is become disciplined to a new set of habits. If you're interested in learning more about how to become disciplined to a new set of habits, click the link below. I would love to talk to you. And there's a social media post. Frustration, solution, result. And like, if you just make a list of every single frustration that your avatar client has, no matter how small, no matter how big, and then provide them a solution to that frustration in a minute or less, and you do that every single day for 3 months, for a year, your life will probably look different in a year. For a lot of the reasons that you said, Danielle, it's like the way social media works now, it's like every video you create is just it's in the orbit. And if you stumble across a good video, like I I I made a TikTok account where I taught people about herbal medicine. And it was like when my kid was really little, they go to bed at like 6:30 and like you're just like stuck in your house and my wife would take like a 3-hour bath and I would just waste that 3 hours watching YouTube or stupid stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna slay this dragon. I'm a little afraid of being, vulnerable on social media. I don't really have an outlet to talk about herbs. And so I just started talking about herbs on TikTok and it just blew up. It was unbelievable. I would make like 5 videos a night, every night for like 3 or 4 months. And I'm still getting comments on videos. I'm like much less active now. I'm still getting comments. Like one of my best performing videos is slippery elm safe? Here's what the Botanical Safety Handbook says. It's like, it just becomes a resource for TikTok. So now if anybody on TikTok searches Slippery Elm, I come up as like a result. And there's a lot of people that use TikTok as their search. You know, they'll go to TikTok, like I'll do it. Chicken pan sauce. It's so much more effective to watch a quick 30-second video than to comb through dozens of articles that are being spammed by ads. And so, yeah, I don't know. What do you think would that framework work for you?
Definitely. All right, guys, thank you so much. I gotta check out. I got another
Yeah.
call, and I appreciate it. Take
Cool.
care. Bye-bye.
We should probably call it unless there's any other questions or thoughts. Otherwise, see you next week.
Thank you,
Cool.
everyone.
Yep. Take care.